cases of gender-based violence, there is need to come up with innovative solutions to stop this menace. So, as Takotech, we have met some of the startups who have come up with brilliant ideas to stop this menace and mitigate it through some efforts that are even rehabilitating some of the victims. This is what we have for you in the show today, among so many other things that we'll be talking to you about. The hashtag, remember, is Takotech at KBC Channel 1. My name is Stephanie Ayeta.
Gender-based violence, or GBV, refers to any harm inflicted against a person's will. It results from discrimination and unequal power on the basis of gender roles and norms. It is an umbrella term for various forms of violence that can affect people of all genders, such as child marriage, intimate partner violence, sexual and emotional violence. It is used to establish or reinforce gender inequalities. GBV is widespread and disproportionately affects women and girls, with 1 in 3 worldwide experiencing physical and sexual violence. During crises, the risks of GBV can greatly increase, especially for those with least power, voice and access to services or resources. Although we need to deliver immediate and life-saving assistance, if we don't recognize and address gender inequality and the risks of GBV, we may miss vital opportunities to assist those who are most in need, or may unintentionally expose them to further harm.
So what must we do? Recognize that GBV is a life-threatening issue and assume it is happening regardless of whether incidents have been verified. Follow global guidelines and collaborate with specialists to look for GBV risks. Insecure shelters and gender-unaware camp design may increase risks of sexual violence. Schools and recreational activities, vital for the well-being of crisis-affected children, can also increase risks of GBV. As humanitarians, it is our responsibility to mitigate, prevent, and within our capability, respond to GBV. We must identify and address the different needs, capacities, and vulnerabilities of girls, boys, women, and men, and reduce their risks to GBV. Speak with vulnerable groups to identify and mitigate safety risks in your design, delivery, and evaluation of assistance. Address root causes of gender inequality by promoting the equal rights of women and girls and other marginalized groups. Engage men and boys as advocates for gender equality and ending GBV. Reporting of GBV incidents is hindered by stigma and risks of further violence. This multiplies the physical, emotional, and social effects of GBV. It can restrict reporting rates and survivors' access to services. Specialists must provide gender-sensitive services without delay and establish confidential referral systems. Survivors' rights and informed consent are central. Prioritize safety, confidentiality, respect, and non-discrimination in your response. Non-specialists also have a key role to play. If someone discloses an incident to you, remember to look, listen, and link to information on available support. It is everyone's responsibility to prevent, mitigate, and respond to GBV. Together, we can stop gender-based violence.
Governments and non-governmental actors are innovating with technology to strengthen GBV programming and systems, improve reach and access of gender-based violence services, educate communities, and empower women and girls through digital, financial, health, and education services. Globally, technology is also being harnessed in efforts to address gender-based violence. Around the world, different actors are using ICTs and other digital technologies to bolster GBV prevention, mitigation, and response efforts. Women's access to mobile phones and mobile internet continues to increase across low and middle-income countries. 83% of women now own a mobile phone in low and middle-income countries, and 58% use mobile internet, enabling GBV survivors and other women and girls unprecedented access to digital tools and platforms where they can access and share information and seek assistance and support from professionals and from peers. Women and girls at risk of GBV are using online and smartphone-based applications to feel safer in public and domestic spaces. And GBV and women's rights advocates and activists are using online tools to campaign, lobby, and mobilize for gender equality and for action on GBV. Harnessing innovation to address gender-based violence is critical for creating a more just and equitable society. Technology can play a significant role in this endeavor by providing new tools and platforms for prevention, intervention, and support. One area where innovation can make a difference is in the development of apps and online platforms that provide resources and support for survivors of gender-based violence. These platforms can offer information about legal rights, access to support services, and even tools for documenting and reporting incidents of violence. Another important aspect is the use of data and analytics to better understand the root causes of gender-based violence and to identify patterns and trends that can inform prevention efforts. By analyzing data from various sources, including social media, law enforcement records, and health databases, researchers and policymakers can gain insights into the factors that contribute to violence and develop targeted interventions. Additionally, innovations in education and awareness raising can help change attitudes and behaviors that perpetuate gender-based violence. Digital media, virtual reality, and interactive educational tools can engage people in conversations about consent, healthy relationships, and gender equality. Furthermore, innovative approaches to policy and advocacy can help create a more supportive environment for survivors and hold perpetrators accountable. This may include initiatives such as online reporting systems, legal aid services, and campaigns to challenge harmful stereotypes and norms. Entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and advocates for gender equality can collaborate to generate actionable ideas to address gender-based violence through various means, such as cross-sector partnerships, which brings together stakeholders from diverse backgrounds, including technology, business, advocacy, academia, and government, can facilitate the exchange of ideas and resources. Collaborative efforts can lead to innovative solutions that leverage each sector's expertise and networks. Technology companies can establish initiatives focused on using their products and expertise to address social issues like gender-based violence. This may involve developing new tools, platforms, or applications specifically designed to support survivors, raise awareness, or facilitate reporting. Venture capital firms, corporate investors, and philanthropic organizations can support startups and social enterprises working on solutions to address gender-based violence. By providing funding, mentorship, and resources, they can help scale promising initiatives and innovations. Advocates for gender equality can work with industry leaders and entrepreneurs to advocate for policy reforms that address the root causes of gender-based violence. This may include advocating for stronger legal protections, increased funding for supportive services, and initiatives to challenge harmful gender norms and stereotypes. Corporate social responsibility initiatives is another aspect that companies can use to integrate efforts to address gender-based violence into their CSR initiatives. This may involve providing funding to organizations working in this field, implementing workplace policies that support survivors or raise awareness among employees and customers. In research and data sharing, Academia, industry, and advocacy organizations can collaborate on research projects to better understand the impact of gender-based violence and identify effective interventions. Sharing data and insights can inform evidence-based approaches and drive policy change. Community engagement and education, where communities are encouraged to engage in discussions about gender-based violence and promoting education and awareness-raising initiatives, can help change attitudes and behaviors. Entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and advocates can collaborate on campaigns, workshops, and outreach programs to reach diverse audiences. Hackathons and innovative challenges are also key. Organizing events like hackathons or innovation challenges focused on addressing gender-based violence can spark creativity and generate new ideas. These events bring together individuals with different skill sets and perspectives to brainstorm, prototype, and develop solutions within a short time frame. Business Idea Marathon, organized by the Japan International Cooperation Agency JICA, in partnership with the National Gender and Equality Commission Kenya, Nairobi County Government, and Daystar University, with support from Project Ninja, Axel African Consulting, and The Village, Statinev, and Safaricom Foundation, brought together entrepreneurs, industry leaders, advocates for gender equality to collaborate and generate actionable ideas. Through workshops, panel discussions, and networking opportunities, participants explored how entrepreneurship can be harnessed as a force for positive social change. Budding entrepreneurs and startups presented their business ideas and how their innovations could be used to come up with solutions that address prevention and tackling of gender-based violence.
We organized this Business Idea Marathon because we believe that elimination of gender-based violence is the issue that must be tackled by the entire society. We really believe that businesses have a strong and unique role to stand strong against gender-based violence and foster changes in our society. So I really hope that we can spearhead the groundbreaking initiative to end gender-based violence from Kenya together.
Part of the reason why we chose this unique event as a form of raising awareness in tackling gender-based violence is although government is making a lot of efforts, development partners, but we need to bring on board the business side, which also is equally important in trying to bring up solutions that can tackle gender-based violence in Kenya. In business concept, this is the first step in trying to identify some of the innovative ideas that can be put into use. So the marathon is just to bring together people from business sector that could have potential ideas towards addressing GBV issues in Kenya. The next step we hope is to have a contest where the business ideas that pass through this stage could compete, and then the best viable ideas could be probably pursued for big outcomes.
For this particular activity, it is the first one to be held globally. We have different business idea marathons, but none has ever been organized to address gender-based violence. So globally, this is the first business idea marathon to address gender-based violence. And through the innovative ways that the startups are going to come up with, the entrepreneurs and the players in the private sector, we really hope to pick these lessons and replicate them in different counties in Kenya. And we hope that the same lessons can be picked and be replicated in other countries in the world.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I've already taken the first step. I've already built the prototype that's ready for testing. As we speak now, we are doing what we call a beta phase testing. So that means we've already signed up a couple of pharmacies. There's a doctor on the back end who will help us now to be able to test the system. Now, we've taken a series of people close to us who are now testing on the client side and giving us feedback on what we can be able to tweak or iterate on the platform so that it can correctly serve the needs of the GBV victims totality.
What we're working on right now is the business model Canva, and that one helps you to look at your business from a broader view in terms of what is your problem, what are your key activities and all that. So being here is very helpful because you're not only pitching your idea, but you're also learning from others, and working in a group, you're able to, the team members are able to help you think out of the box on areas that you had not thought of and make your idea much better.
First, on how it's changing the narrative on GBV is that GBV is for the people who go through GBV are people in the marginalized and poor communities. Professionals and even people at the workplace go through GBV, as well as men who, because of stigma, men don't report, because it's very hard to even go find a guy going to the police and asking for maybe a P3 form because of having gone through assault or something of the sort. They're told, kuwa mwanaume. But now with this app, they can even choose to be anonymous and report and get the counseling they deserve, or even take the matters forward legally. This idea marathon was really instrumental in first getting us industry partners and also meeting people who have the same mindset and ideas around gender-based violence. I was very happy to actually come and find a lot of men here, and that shows that it's not a women-only issue, it's of all genders, and everyone is coming together to actually solve this problem. And this facilitation of such an idea marathon brings people with different ideas, and they come together and even share their insights and even their research on maybe people that they have dealt with, and the culmination of all this is just magical ideas that just bring about solutions that are very innovative and will have otherwise not been possible. We'd also like to ask for, as everyone says, serikali's idea, because it starts and ends with government policy and how it's enforced. There's so many government policies in the country, but the enforcement of the same is very shaky, and you find that many of these cases go unreported because we don't trust our legal systems.
By collaborating across sectors and leveraging their respective strengths and resources, entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and advocates for gender equality can generate actionable ideas and drive meaningful change in the fight against gender-based violence.
It is in this auditorium that participants will gather from their breakout sessions, where they have polished up on their ideas, and some of the best 3 will be picked and hopefully adapted to help solve the problem of gender-based violence. Maybe, just maybe, such events are what we need to tap into the innovative potential that our youths have in solving many of the problems that our country has. This has been Take on Tech. Thank you for staying with us. We meet next week, same time, same place. The hashtag to use is Take on Tech at KBC Channel 1. My name is Stephanie Ayeta.